Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. If you're a focused learner looking to seriously level up your English vocabulary, you've landed in the exact right spot. Today, we're going to take a daunting, easily confused list of 8 words that all start with STR and transform them into crystal clear, distinct concepts. We've all been there, right? Staring at words like stripe, strip, strike, and strive, just scratching our heads because they look and sound so incredibly similar. Well, by the end of this explainer, you're going to be able to confidently use every single one of them. So, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with an overview table, then look at pronunciation and parts of speech, dive into meanings and examples, go over some quick mnemonics, and finally wrap it all up with a 1-minute summary. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the overview table, the macro view. Okay, let's lay everything out on the table so you can see exactly what we're dealing with. Here is the entire landscape of our 8 strip words. Rather than just brute forcing a random list, it's so much easier to group them by core concepts. We've got visual patterns with stripe and strip. We have actions of impact with strike and stroke. We've got forward momentum and effort with strive and stride. And finally, we have conflict or fast movement with strife and streak. Grouping them mentally like this is absolutely crucial. It's your first step to total mastery. Moving right along to Section 2, pronunciation and parts of speech, the micro details. What's really interesting here is how looking at structural and phonetic differences immediately clears up the confusion. Take stripe and strip. Notice how simply dropping the E at the end changes stripe with a long I sound to strip with a short I sound. That one little letter literally shifts the meaning entirely, from a visual pattern, like the lines on a shirt, to the physical action of peeling a layer off or referring to a narrow piece of material. Next up, let's compare strike and stroke. Listen closely to the vocal contrast here. Actually, say them out loud with me. The sharp, sudden strike versus the rounded, drawn-out stroke. That sound actually mimics their meaning. Strike is a sudden, sharp hit, but stroke implies one complete, flowing motion, kind of like the stroke of a paintbrush or a swimming stroke. Now, the crucial point for this next trio is their endings. We have strive, stride, and strife. Strive, ending in a V sound, is purely a verb. It's the action of putting in continuous effort. Stride, ending in a D sound, is physical. It's taking a big step, acting as both a noun and a verb. And strife, ending with that harsh F sound, is purely a noun representing conflict. Verb, physical action, noun. Simple as that. All right. Let's get into Section 3, meanings and examples in context. Let's see these words in their natural habitat, starting with our visual words. We define stripe as a pattern of lines. Think of the alternating colors on an animal or a flag. Meanwhile, strip means a narrow piece of something like a strip of paper or the action of peeling a layer away. These examples really anchor the definitions. The tiger has black stripes. You can visually picture those dark, bold lines. And strip off your jacket. You can physically imagine the action of removing that outer layer. Connecting the word to a strong mental image makes it completely unforgettable. Let's move to strike and strive. Strike carries a sudden impact or a collective, abrupt action. It's sharp and immediate. Whereas strive is all about continuous, persistent effort toward a goal. It's definitely not a one-time event. It's a dedicated, ongoing process. See how the lightning struck the tree with a sudden, momentary burst of violent force? Contrast that with our second sentence. We strive for excellence. Striving for excellence is a continuous, living effort. It's a journey, not just a single flash. Next up, we have stride and strife. Stride is a physical, measurable, large step forward. It's totally about movement and progression. Strife, on the flip side, is an invisible, often highly stressful interpersonal conflict. Look at this first example. She crossed the street in 3 strides. You can almost measure those 3 big, confident steps, right? In stark contrast, family strife is stressful, represents a heavy emotional burden of disagreement. One is purely physical progress. The other is emotional friction. Finally, our last pair, streak and stroke. A streak is a fast trace, like a smear of paint, or a run of continuous luck. Like a winning streak. A stroke is one complete, definitive action. That could be the stroke of a hammer, a gentle stroke of a cat's fur, or, unfortunately, a sudden medical event. The visual of a meteor streaking across the sky perfectly highlights the speed and that glowing trail it leaves behind. And this contrasts so well with the measured, singular, repeatable stroke of a swimmer pulling themselves through the water. Now that we've got the nuances down, let's jump to Section 4, Quick Mnemonics for Instant Recall. I want you to literally say these rhythmically to yourself. Zebra has stripes, strip off your coat, strike the ball, strive for success, stride forward, family strife, winning streak, stroke of luck. Locking these simple 2 to 3 word phrases in your brain creates an incredible anchor. It ensures you're never going to mix up these distinct concepts again because your brain will just instantly finish the phrase for you. And finally, Section 5, our 1-minute summary for total mastery. I want you to read this sentence aloud right now, wherever you are. I strive for success, stride toward it, strike obstacles away, and avoid strife. It is absolutely brilliant, isn't it? In just one single sentence, you put in the ongoing effort, strive. You take big physical steps, stride. You hit away barriers with sudden force, strike. And you dodge conflict, strife. If you can understand and confidently say this sentence, you have officially mastered these words. So here is my final challenge to you. You've unpacked the phonetic confusion, you've mastered the nuances, and you've got the mnemonics down. Which of these words are you going to intentionally slip into your next email, presentation, or conversation? Step out there and put your new, precise vocabulary into practice today. Thanks so much for joining me. Keep pushing forward, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.